Good morning, everyone. I welcome every one of you to this YIT forum. And today we have three speakers. And so before introducing everyone, let's go to, we will start the universal prayer. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is therefore one with every other. Let's observe silence for a couple of minutes. Good morning again. Today we have three speakers, and today's topic is building a better and kinder world for ourselves and our future generations. And we have three speakers, Rucha Pandey, Pooja Gole, and Harnath. So our first speaker is Sister Rucha Pandey. She is a graduate working for Orange City Water Private Limited in Nagpur as a senior manager. She is a strong advocate of kindness and respect at workplaces. Though she is not an official member of Theosophical Society, but she is a very sincere member of Theosophy. And she has been a student of Brother Milind Joshi since her high school days. Her thoughts are majorly shaped and been spiritually inclined because of his influences. And today she wishes to share her thoughts and today's topic, she says she is that is very close to her heart, and the topic she wants to continue advocating for is kindness. So welcome, Sister Rucha. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. First of all, as the moderator sister said, I'm not a member yet, but I plan to be one soon. First of all, I'm grateful to Milind sir, Shikharji, Palkrut Kaka, and all the respected Theosophical Society members for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of this esteemed audience. I humbly wish to state here that I'm yet to start studying theosophy books. However, having gotten an opportunity at a very early age to learn from Milind sir, I've realized over time that without tagging them as principles of theosophy, he has been imparting them in me through all the Sanskrit lessons that I have taken from him in a span of 5 academic years, and all the life lessons I've been taking from him since last 18 years that I have known him. I love reading. I'm an avid reader. And whatever I read, I try to look at it through the lens of spirituality. That is because of Milind sir. So whatever I am trying to share today is what I've learned from him and the numerous invaluable books that I got an opportunity, that I was fortunate to get an opportunity to read. If you find my thoughts beneficial, the credit is to my parents and Milind sir. If you find them futile, the blame is all mine that I could not share them effectively. With that pretty long start, I would move forward to the topic of today, that is Theosophy for building a better and kinder world for ourselves and our future generations. We are living in a world that is moving forward at such a fast pace that we do not have a moment to stop, to look around, and think about people, nature, and situations around us with our innate ability, innate quality of being kind. We are rushing so much to acquire materialistic pleasures that we are forgetting the pleasure of being human. We are so busy doing that we forget sometimes that we are human beings, not human doings. And while we are living in this world today, we are simultaneously creating a world for the future generations to come tomorrow, to live in tomorrow. They have not asked us to bring them to this world. We are choosing to bring them here. And hence, we owe them a world that is better than today, that is kinder than today. In a bid to provide them with all the facilities, gadgets, and conveniences, we must not forget to be kind to them and ensure that they are kind to the people around them. The principles of Theosophy, the universal brotherhood, can most definitely be the start point of building a foundation of kindness on various levels: universal, social, familial, individual, or even corporate level, and anything in between. Kindness is our innate virtue, but the Shadripu, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara, sometimes singularly and sometimes in combinations, shadow our souls in such a way that the innate kindness cannot find its way to the surface. We tend to drift away from it on the path of unkindness, aggression, or even violence. The most recent global example of Krodha, Lobha, and Moha uh, shadowing kindness is the Russia Ukraine war. We are seeing the dance of death on those lands. We are watching the current and the coming generation getting destroyed one attack at a time. The Lobha of power, the Moha of bigger lands, and the Krodha of the man on the top are collectively leading two nations towards destruction. This war has reminded me 100 times of a quote that goes like this: when the power of love overcomes the love for power, the world will experience peace. I will say that again. When the power of love overcomes the love for power, the world will experience peace. Empathy. Empathy is the other side of the same coin. When we relate to the other person's sorrows, pains, joys, needs as if they were our own, kindness becomes the most obvious approach. Adi Shankaracharya's Advaita Vedanta has been teaching us this oneness or non-duality of Atma for ages. Our Ved, our Upanishads have always spoken about oneness. Manasaivaनु drashtavyam neha nanasti kinchana मृत्योः मृत्युमाप्नोति य इव इह नान्येव पश्यति. Brihadaranyupanishad. The meaning is, see through the eyes of your manas. There is no difference whatsoever in it. He who sees the difference goes only from death to death. When we see the other person or creature just as another manifestation of the same Brahma as our own, we equip ourselves enough to be nothing other than kind to the other person. This reminds me of a story about Santa Eknath Maharashtra that my 9-year-old son Raghav told in the White Lotus Day celebration of Marathi Theosophical Society last Sunday. The story goes like this. One day, Sant Eknath Maharaj went to the sacred river Godavari to take a bath. He finished his bath and was coming out of the waters when he saw a little scorpion on the bank, on the rocks of the river bank. He thought to himself, if this little scorpion stays on these rocks, someone will step on it and the poor creature will be crushed to death. So he picked him up gently in his palm, and just as he was to release it in water, the scorpion stung him. Maharaj felt a thunder of pain in his body due to that bite. But he still released the scorpion in water with kindness and concern for that little life. As he was about to turn back to return home, the scorpion again came out of water and started moving on the rocks. Maharaj again picked him up, and before it could be released, it bit him again. Maharaj still had the same compassion for it. This continued quite a while, Maharaj trying to save and the scorpion not failing to bite. People at the river were watching this. They gathered around Eknath Maharaj. They started saying, Maharaj, why are you behind saving this creature? All he is doing is inflicting pain on you. Let it go, let it die. Eknath Maharaj gently said, Are, he's just a little creature. God hasn't given him any buddhi. Still, he doesn't leave his dharma of biting me. I'm a human being. I'm given buddhi and vivek, that is wisdom and discrimination. How can I leave my dharma of saving? For me, this is a classic depiction of the invaluable ability to see other life as only a different manifestation of the same Brahma, the same Atman, that of oneself, and also as the ansh of Parabrahma present in every bit of matter and every ounce of energy. Today, we as an entire human race are facing the crisis of global warming. It is because of the collective apathy, the indifference we showed to the nature, as we exploited the ample resources and the diverse lives Mother Nature provided us with. It is because we couldn't see the Parabrahma in the elements around us. We couldn't respect them as manifestations of our own Brahma that we could not be kind towards Mother Nature. Blinded by the moha for more and more and more and more, we brought the rich nature down to the horrifying state that it is today. This is not the world that our ancestors brought us into. They worshipped nature not just in spirit, but through their actions and their conscious choices. Hence, we are obligated to enrich it again with corrective measures so the future generations get at least a little bit better version of the world to live in. Remember, for everything we can have a plan B, but we can never have a planet B. As a society today, we see so much struggle, friction, and disconnect between people that kindness seems to have been buried under layers of sorrows and grief and complaints accumulated under the reigns of the Shadripu. Theosophy and its teachings can help the society wash away these layers and bring out the kindness to build a society that is connected. A society that may not be aware of Adi Shankaracharya's non-duality, but will still uphold its values unknowingly. We can then hope for an awakening across all the strata, a journey we all take on the path of a brighter, better, kinder society, which we can happily give to our children, our future generations. A society like this can help us build families which are more bonded, which are kinder to other members, which don't fall into fights over ancestral properties, but instead hold each other's hands in good times and more importantly in the bad ones. Families which are not just defined as a couple and their kids, but are counting the immediate society as an extension of own family. That is how our society needs to be rebuilt today. That is how our generations will thrive. And kindness is what will help us achieve this. The business world is an integral part of our society. The culture there needs to be kind too. In an ever advancing world, the competition is so fierce that, as said earlier, there is no time to stop, look around, and evaluate. Everyone is so focused on numbers that people are getting a far second priority. The culture is becoming such where harsh words, harsher treatments are fast becoming normal. We need to rethink, pause, and redesign the workplaces in a way that they start improving hereafter. It is not because people need kindness, it is because businesses need kind people. The business will not stand the test of time if they don't shift their focus from numbers to people. A focus on number will help businesses win quarters. A focus on people will help businesses win decades. This part of the talk may seem a bit irrelevant to a few of us, but it is genuinely an important part of discussion when we talk about a kinder world for us and our future generations. We need to build leaders who, along with being taskmasters, are also compassionate towards their teams. We must know where to draw the line between pushing the teams to perform better and crushing their self respect to dust. We also need to build teams who are kinder to their teammates, who look forward to lifting each other's up, who believe in holding hands and not pulling legs. A shift of focus from material development to personal enlightenment can play a pivotal role in the growth of the individual, his or her team, and the organization that they work for. Imparting principles of theosophy in a framework that is relevant to business can help a long way in building a business world that is more compassionate, more accommodating, and are supporting individuals in striking work life balance. This is extremely important to improve the quality of life of the huge workforce across the world, which is running mindlessly to cope up with the increasing pressures to achieve newer heights every day. We spoke about being kind to nature. We spoke about being kind to society. We spoke about being kind to teams. We spoke about being kind to everyone else around us. But most importantly, we need to be kind to ourselves. Only when we learn to be kind to ourselves can we think of being kind to others. We cannot pour from an empty cup. That is why it is very important that we fill our cups with kindness for ourselves so as to enable us, so as to be able to fill others with kindness. As young theosophists, we can really come up with new ideas and fresh approaches to reach out to as many people as we can and make the principles of theosophy more readily adaptable at different levels and in different aspects of the world. With this, I finish sharing my thoughts here with all of you. It has indeed been an honor to have this platform for me to share so much in my very first attempt. As said in the beginning, if you find this beneficial, the credit is to my parents and my teachers. If you find it futile, the blame is all mine. Thank you so much for each of you to have given me your time, to have listened to me so patiently, so intently. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sister. And the talk was really, I mean, I don't have words actually. So it was really nice. And the story was also so good. And the quote you said, no, I loved that one. I hope everybody liked that. If you have the power of love, then you can overcome the love for the power, right? And that is the nice one. And thank you, sister. And our next speaker is uh, Sister Pooja Gole, and she has introduced to Theosophy since her childhood, but she says she's observing it in the recent times. But I hope, sister, you will also uh, give the nice talk, and that will also have some information that everybody can take. And she is a postgraduate in human development. Currently, she is working as an English educator in Vedantu Innovations Private Limited. There, she teaches phonetics to the students around 4 to 7 years of age, and she is a kinesthetic learner, which meaning learning by doing. So she is learning the joy of life with her hobbies of dancing, acting, and recently developed reading. So, welcome, sister. Over to you now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Um, I would like to take a moment to tell Rucha ma'am that you did amazing, and I loved all the points you said, and I really felt that. So yes, it was amazing.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here, being a part of this program. And I want to thank Indian section, Mahapatra sir, Shikhar sir, and everybody who made this possible. So, here we will be talking about a better and kinder world for ourselves and our further generation through Theosophy. Indeed, an important topic to discuss. The most important point of concern, which is hindering the human growth, is his own selfish mind, and which leads to desires to acquire something by hook or by crook, to snatch something which is not rightfully his, to do some hideous crimes resulting in various global problems. See, the global problems are a result of gradual corruption of human mind. Basically, the absence of realization made the situations worse. Here, I want you all to focus on absence of realizations. This is something we all need to work on. It can simply start from the basic deals like switching off the lights or fans, which will save some electricity. In turn, the electricity will be used in many more places. Then there is a possibility of utilization of the electricity in needy places like villages. And we are not unaware of the problems in villages regarding electricity, right? Here I'm not preaching you to turn off the electricity or not turn off the lights or save the and turn off the fans. Instead, I am asking you to look at the bigger picture. What is that? You will be able to see this when there will be the presence of realizations. And once you get that, half of the problems will be solved. Then there is no need of preaching because it will be from within. A realization, no, I want to save something, no, I want to save for my future generation. Let's turn off the tap because I want to save water, because like there is water problem since a long time. So no, I want to save for anything. I mean, just want to save. That simple realization will also do. So this is an innate urge to help others and get the work done. Agree, right? In my last segment last week, where I talked about how theosophy changed my life and what it brought into my life. Its sensitivity, kindness, realizations, unconditional acceptance, power to understand things. So overall, what I mean is, I am quite impressed and strongly believe in the factors of what theosophy can bring to me, us, and the whole world. So it can bring a strong set of realizations about self, and moreover about the connection between the world and you, so that you can think about the necessities of the world altogether. By saying and discussing all this, I am not asking you to make dramatic or drastic changes into the world, but the basic ones, because the realizations about the basic change itself are basic. I mean, it's the foundation of a human. Being kind is basic, being sensitive around you is basic, being helpful is basic. uh, I, I think help and service is the utmost important factor in theosophy. Helping to your fellow mates and continuing the chain, making it to a bigger group, which brings me to my first objective of theosophy, that is universal brotherhood, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What do we understand by this term? The whole world is my family, right? Since childhood, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means the whole world is my family. Exactly, the family. How do we behave with our family? Lovingly, fairly, kindly. Yeah, I'm not asking you to hug the whole world because that's your family. No, I'm asking, but we can be kind, fair, and sensitive to all the human beings that we can do. So that is what I'm suggesting here. I understand with the modern age and the Kalyug stuffs, people are less who still believes in the concept of universal brotherhood. Yet again, yes. Yet again, here we are at the presence. Howsoever small step you take, but taking the step will be huge. This modern day and Kalyug stuff is leading to the concept of mindset. The black mindset or the black shadows. These corrupted mindsets leads to the violence. Another global problem. Violence against men, women, kids, poor, and ourselves. This violence is done by both men and women. So right now, gender is not the point of concern, but mindset is. So have you heard about yin yang? Yeah, the white, black, the good, bad. Yeah, that one. And we believe there is the existence of white powers, and we cannot deny the existence of black powers. Like they are equally present there. Black powers or dark powers overpowers those dark powers overpower those who led them due to lack of realizations, which in turn lessens the white powers. Basically, leaves you mentally or spiritually weak. So, door opens because of the broken lock, as it is weak. Door opens because of the broken lock, and the dark power enters, does drama and party of its own, and then the violence is on its way to to the self as well as to the others. Violence is hurting yourself as well. There is this concept in a movie called Wonder Woman. I'm not sure, like I'm partly sure many of you have seen this. So there is a concept in a movie called Wonder Woman. In this movie, Wonder Woman, the protagonist, is fighting an evil power called Ares. Actually, Ares is also known as the god of hell. So she is fighting a bad power called Ares. So there is a war going on in the movie, and so her motto is to kill that Ares. I mean, the bad power. So she's striving all through the movie, like that only. So at the end, she kills the villain, and she thinks now everything will be stopped as if we press the button, something like that. I mean, she thinks if we kill the Ares, I mean, if we kill that villain from the movie, everything will stop. But when she did that, nothing stopped. Everything continued. Everything continued as it was going, even after killing the villain. So then she realized Ares, she has not killed Ares yet. I mean, Ares is some power which is whispering the bad deeds or whispering the dark powers into the villain's mind, and that's how she finds and decides that she has to kill Ares. And yeah, then she finishes it. So my point is why Ares could penetrate into villains, because villains let it come into them as they get weak in front of it, as their radar point towards the black powers. So basically, we need to find the Ares and defeat it. That too, yet again, with realizations. We all have Ares in us. We have to realize and try to defeat it. So this black shadow, as described in Theosophy, invites a lot of desires, that to evil ones as well, like food adulteration, inequality, discrimination. These are some global problems, I say, right? See the reach of the dark power. Are we realizing it? It's so deep that the human mind started abusing its powers into the divine food. The food, a fuel which runs the human body. I mean, hello, where are we? If we humans are into this, how are we supposed to walk, run, work? How adulterated our mind has become. Yes, these are really big problems. How are we supposed to solve this? Yeah, that's right. The mindset. I completely agree. The mindset change moving towards humanity is a very, very long process. I know this, I understand this. And in the coming few years, this might not be solved. To be precise, this might not be solved. But taking the first step towards it in this generation, in this current generation, will be the first milestone. We can really make a difference through mindsets filled with love for humanity, working on the principle of universal brotherhood. If not if not if we are not working on the principle of brotherhood, we can be the seed sowing generation and let our many future generations enjoy the fruit of bliss. Let me get this again. We can be the seed sowing generation and let our many future generations enjoy the bliss of, enjoy the fruit of bliss. There is a real example of universal brotherhood. Currently going on. We can see this. I would like to appreciate that. Are you aware of the Safe Soil movement and Rally for Rivers? These movements are led by Sadhguru of Isha Foundation. There are thousands of volunteers around the world who are working as one family towards the betterment of whole earth. The Safe Soil movement. It's a good cause, right? And that too, thousands of volunteers are working together. Isn't this universal brotherhood? I think there's theosophy in everything we see once we are completely here, right? There's everything. Theosophy is everywhere. Like we say, science is everywhere. It's theosophy also everywhere. It's just we need to see it. So theosophy is not magic, it's science, like I just said. And it allows you to try it yourself, experience it yourself, which leads me to the second objective of theosophy. Study religions, philosophy, and science through comparative approach. The second objective. It doesn't bind you. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't bind you, but lets you explore the arena of theosophy and its literature. So getting into it, reading it, might make up your mind and set the mind to do something worthy of change. The third most objective is reach out to the hidden aspect of nature and dormant powers of human beings. This is the third objective. Tell me, who isn't seeking the self-realization? Is there anybody? I think even I am seeking the self-realization, and everybody is, right? So theosophy can be your medium. It can be your medium to reach to your ultimate goal of completing yourself with the ultimate through self-realization. See, we came back where we started. Realizations, right? Yeah, self-realization is at the top. But before that, there are many basic realizations, which includes realization and understanding the pain of your fellow human, if not at a global level, but at a personal level. This will really be important. So just begin and you will see and do wonders. There's a quote, Jay Shetty, he's a writer. So he said, "Ki leave a place uh, cleaner than you find, like, uh, be kind to people, like more kind than you find that person. Be nice to the person more. Be nice, howsoever in condition you found it. Be more nice. Leave that place a better one, like from the previous part." So yes, here, thank you so much for being a part of this. Here I end my lecture. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you, sister. And I told you, I knew that you will do good. And it was a nice presentation, actually. How you presented, that was really nice. I really felt, I'll go and I'll do something now. So, so thank you so much. And it was very nice, short and crisp talk. And thank you. And now our next speaker is Brother Harnath Modukuri. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
No issues.
Okay. So Brother Harnath is a member of Ananda Lodge, and he also knows Theosophy since his childhood. And he completed his MBA in HR and marketing. He has work experience of 8 years in sales, and he is working as a sales lead in Tarekpaligudem. And I hope I know that you will also do good. I'm here that I am expecting that as our previous speakers, You will also do wonder through your talk. So welcome, brother, and
Thank you,
over
Symposium.
to you.
And I would like to thank one and all who are there on this platform and audience. First of all, I would like to know, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah.
audible, loud and clear.
So actually, I'm a bit confused, and because my co-speaker had already shared things, that is my viewers. So nothing remains for me to share you something new because everything has been shared by Sister Pooja and as well. So I will try my level best to give better. I'm not a good speaker. Sorry, please bear me for some time. Let me share this thing. Hmm.
Sorry to interrupt you, brother. Your voice is not clear actually. So,
My voice is not clear.
hmm.
Sorry.
Speak louder.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, speak little louder.
So can I continue?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Uh, can you see the screen?
Yeah, it's visible now.
So today we want to discuss about the philosophy of building a better and kinder world for ourselves and future generations. So first of all, I would like to know what is philosophy. Is it a religion? Uh, I would like to make this session more impactful. I don't want to give it like a lecture. So the session will be in terms of questions only. So everyone can share their opinions. Right. So I would like to ask the question like whether philosophy is it a religion? I can the answer would be like no, it's not a religion, right? So I had taken the reference from the book Theosophy, where Madam Blavatsky has been explained like the word philosophy is a Greek word, like theos means God in Greek, one of the divine beings, or certainly not God in the sense attached in our head to the term. Therefore, it is not wisdom of God as translated to wisdom, but a divine wisdom, such as that goes by the God. The term is told. So, whenever they have been asked, what is the origin of the thing? So, said like it comes from the understanding of philosophers called lovers of truth. Hence, the motto there is no religion as right? So it is also defined in the synthesis of science, religion, and philosophy, the different doctrine, uh, which really displays the beauty of philosophy that no way we can get this kind of combination. Like science, religion, and philosophy. It's a great combination. Actually. So understanding the objectives, you want the objectives clearly and follow it. It's like a great. Uh, I, I don't want to call it as a concept. It's a great truth. I can say. The society operates to form a nuclear of the universe of humanity, for distinction of race, creatures, caste, and other. And to encourage the study of comparative religion, philosophy, and science, and to investigate the unexplained laws of nature and powers latent in humanity. So, if you observe these objectives of the society, it's really need and I can call it as a basic fundamental things we should have to do in our daily life. So I used to remember two lines like before going to the topic, I would like to say like similarities are superficial, but differences are fundamental. Right? similarities are super. You and me are same. If I say you and me are same, I can show it. But if I say you and me are different, I can show it, right? Because physically both are different. So, but similarities are there between you and me. You feel sad, you feel happy, you feel love, you feel joy, you feel this. Even same happens in me. So similarities are there. We should have to try to cope up with those similarities, not with the differences. Then only we can achieve the concept called universal brotherhood. Until unless we can't see the universal brotherhood, if you see the differences, if you won't see the similarities. So, how to develop these better society by theosophy? It is indeed necessary for ourselves and for future generations to sustain this theosophy philosophy. Why? Because it helps one individual to develop the areas of mental education, vital education, and spiritual education. So let's go into these ideas of mental education. What is vital education, spiritual education? Theosophy helps us to grow up in these areas like vital education. One must gain full knowledge of one's character and then observe carefully and consciously towards one movement in order to achieve perfect mastery of senses. Right. So how you will become a master of your own senses? Here we need to inquire into the question: can we pursue all the things with our senses? The answer would be no. We can't sense everything, right? For example, a tree that has fallen down in the forest, can we sense the sound of that tree? No, right? But the tree exists in the forest. It is not like that. We have not sensed the sound of the fallen tree so that it is not exist. It exists in nature. Only the thing is difference is we are not able to pursue that sound because of our limited senses. So, in order to make our senses unlimited or uh, vast, or to open up our extraordinary or ESP, I can call it, extrasensory perception, we should have to understand what exactly theosophy is, and that will help you to become a master of your senses. So, and transformation of all elements that have to be transformed and to eradicate the egoistic and ignorant tendency so as to become a master of one's character. This all can only happen when you are conscious all the time, right? So, consciousness brings the vitality. So, coming to mental education, a true mental education which will prepare a man for higher life have five phases. They are development of power of concentration, the capacity of attention. So, for example, if you see a heron or a crane that is standing in water, one leg up, if you observe that thing very carefully and consciously, it takes an enormous amount of concentration in order to have food of fish. Right? In the same way, a tiger you observe while hunting, it really takes a lot of concentration, not attention, I can say. We can discuss it later, like what is concentration and what is attention in previous lectures. So we should have to develop the power of concentration and the capacity of attention to mental education, which will be the undertaking, and development of capacities of consciousness. And the third point is like organization of one idea around central idea, which means develop the habit of seeing as a whole, right? So can we see an image without a background? We can't see, right? We can see only as a whole with the background. As a whole, we can see the concept. We can only pursue as a whole. Because fragmentation leads to disorder of watching or seeing, right? So what I'm trying to say here is we should have to cultivate or inculcate the habit of watching or observing a thing as a whole. Then only you can understand it well and able to perceive it well. So the fourth point is like though control rejection of undesirable thoughts. So thought control rejection of undesirable thoughts. This can happen with better understanding of what meditation is. So we will discuss in future again what exactly is meditation. So development of mental silence, perfect calm and absolute serenity. These are the five things which help you to have this mental education via philosophy. I can say. And the third case is like spiritual education. Spiritual education helps a child or a man to stimulate awareness, creativity, and imaginative power. With psychic or spiritual education, we come to the problem of true motive of existence. The purpose of life on the earth, the discovery to which the life leads to. Spirituality only develops with the help of habit of questioning to oneself or self-inquiry. Uh, I still remember the question like when I was in fourth class, I used to ask my teacher who teaches us natural science. When the concept of while she is explaining me the thing like what is amoeba, then I asked what exactly is amoeba. From where these amoeba came. I asked the question from where these amoeba came. Then she said it came from another amoeba. Then I asked again like where that another amoeba came from. She said like again it came from another amoeba. So the question goes on like when you goes on asking a question like where it come from or why it happened, ultimate thing is you will enter into a zero zone or you will enter into space, you will enter into nothing, right? There nobody can explain how this creation happened and how these things exactly designed by whom. These are all questions which stimulates your spiritual education, right? From your childhood. So I don't want to take more time because I know the time is enemy of perception. When you want to pursue a thing, time enters and interrupts you there. I know that. So I don't want to take your more time. I would like to conclude like the first principle of true teaching is that nothing can be taught as it, we should have to inculcate the habit of questioning or self-inquiry. Then only you will get the answers for certain superficial things or the laws that are unexplained in nature. Right. So individual who developed in the above three aspects will automatically contribute to good society, knowingly or unknowingly. Never see theosophy as a concept or religion or a philosophy. Theosophy is a philosophy which you truth. Then here it rises the immediate question of what is truth. So you people can share the details like I'm not want to take the entire platform. So what exactly the truth is? For my perception, truth is a thing that is never altered or never changes. That's it. It won't change, it won't alter, or it won't filter or whatever. Right? Truth exactly the same when it was and when it is. So if you understand what exactly the truth, then your whole entire perception will change. Entire perception will change. Then you really see the truth. If you see theosophy as a concept, there is a chance of changing. if you see philosophy as a religion, there is a chance again of changing. So this fragmentation happens when you see a thing, when you pursue
Brother, we can't hear you actually. Brother Harnath? Okay. I guess his network connection is unstable. So, okay, we will now, uh, we are open for discussion. So, anybody wants to have ask any questions or any suggestions for the speakers, so you can ask. Yes, yes, brother.
yeah, I think I'm lost in the middle, right?
Yeah, I guess your network was, your voice was not audible actually.
Then I think I would like to stop.
Okay, thank you, brother. Um, Thanks for the presentation. It was a nice presentation, though. Uh, so now we are open for discussion. Anybody has questions for the speakers?
I have one question for the speakers, because you all are so young and you all are so dynamic, I would say. It's not just young, you are also so dynamic. I learned a couple of good things from you guys, at least from each of you, one point to, kind of reflect upon, and probably I would say, go back and cross check. There's something called cross check. I always keep on doing. I'm not a very nice person actually, so I keep on learning. People who, I mean, if there is a list of people who would be learning a lot, that the number one is me. I keep on learning, and I think I've got many things to learn from you, at least, guys. So my first question, I mean, just one question, other to each of you, including Smita, probably, because you all are so young and dynamic. Again, I will repeat, what is that one thing do you think Theosophy has taught you to bring a change in your life? Just one thing. What is that one thing Theosophy has pushed you to change? Because if it will be otherwise, there is something called displacement and there is something called speed and velocity, whatever we have learned in physics. What is that pushed you to a displacement? Anything, any factor of life, maybe that will help me also to learn again another new aspect from you all. If you
Should
could
I?
help me out. Yes.
The series of lectures that I have attended for about Theosophy, the one thing that it gave me is the broader perspective of life, not just limiting my vision to this life, but probably a much larger journey that we are all into. Everything falls in perspective when we start to look at things from that bigger perspective, and the daily complaints that we have, they start to shrink and then feel manageable.
Good. Like the way you said that everything has a spiritual view of life.
Exactly.
Really good. Thank you for helping me out. Good. Anyone? Out of the three, Pooja,
For,
yes.
for me, yes, ma'am. And first of all, ma'am, you are learning things, so it doesn't even now raises a question that you being not a nice person. So basically, you are amazing because you want to learn many things. So yes, for me, it was sensitivity towards the environment around me. I learned to be more sensitive. Um, like being sensitive made me understand the pain, or it made me realize that you need to observe much more than just you see. So observation, sensitivity, no, and that definitely gave me a thing to, you should be more kind to people even when they are not, like the story told by ma'am, the Eknath story ki,
Mhm.
being kind to the person even when they are not to you, that way.
Good. And rest of you, Harnath and Smita?
I'm still learning. I also, as you said that you are learning, I'm also learning, and I'm in the starting phase, I guess. And I don't know. Sometimes I feel that okay, I have learned this thing, but when the test comes from life, no, then I feel that I failed. And the book I read in my starting days when I came to Theosophy was I Promise. There, one thing I liked the most is when it was that I was traveling every day in trains. So I will have always one luggage, one backpack, that's it. But in the I Promise book, it is the see Jinraja Dasa mentioned that if you are traveling and you are holding so much luggages, that also troubles other passengers. That day I thought, oh, thank God I'm taking only one backpack. And slowly I'm learning. But so many things are there. There is no time for discussing all those things. But still I'm learning.
Good. So that is a kind of reaffirmation. If you're doing something and it's actually somewhere prescribed, you are kind of, okay, this is ticked in my book.
Yes, yes.
Good. That's a good way of checking up on things. No, good. You guys are wonderful. You guys are really wonderful. Okay, Harnath.
Ma'am, sorry, actually, there is a network issue here. So I really didn't understand your question. What was your question?
I'm asking to each young speakers, what is that one thing Theosophy taught or Theosophy pushed you to change in yourself? Yep.
So, I can say nothing because it doesn't happen for me with the motive or effort. I know philosophy from very early age, but what turns me on here is like nothing has gone like it just happened like that. To be frankly telling, like when I was going for an evening walk, I saw the views of the lodge in this remote area, what where I'm living here. So immediately I was stopped like, philosophy is there in this remote area also. So it's very good to see God in this remote area. So then I went there and I just around like I was simply like that. I just I don't have any reasons to turn on, but I can say one reason, very strong reason. I don't know whether I can share it or not. Very recent in 2020, I met with an accident. So I lost my left hand. So then I just started to be silent because pain gives you silence. In that silence, it happened to me like uh, it pushed me. If I can use that word. It pushed me to use completely, not partially, but still I'm a beginner and I'm just learning. I don't say like I know entire philosophy, but I'm still learning and I'm in the first starting stage, I guess. So that maybe I think that the crisis that happened to me may draw me to spirituality. But I from my childhood I used to think about spirituality a lot. Like because how this nature came, this question bothers me a lot. How these human beings are designed like this, why these animals are like everything that when I observe in the nature, everything bothers me a lot. Everything bothers like how this is happened, how these things are happening.
Okay. Though I could not hear you much due to probably there is some problem in my listening or you speaking, I don't know. There's some, the sound is not very clear. But yes, what I summarize from all of you is, one is looking at things from a bigger view, spiritual view. Spiritual view is a higher view or bigger view, not a narrow, petty, narrowness, selfishness kind of a thing. And again, as Pooja suggested, let us be more observant, more alert. And Smita Pragya, as conveyed, and maybe Harnath also touched upon those points. When we keep on doing and there is a reaffirmation, and sticking to that reaffirmation, just the kind of a never say die kind of attitude we say, no, like if I've been, even if I'm not doing good today, and if I just shut it down, okay, it's not coming up, it's not going to come out of me, so I should not pursue. No, keeping on pursuing, keeping on the journey is also more important. Or person like me, at least, if I keep on moving, then only I'll improve. Okay. Good. Thank you. I think you all did a great job. Smita Pragya, you might invite few of the speakers, I mean, few of the attendees you would be knowing. Otherwise, you can end the session with a prayer, of course.
So anybody has questions for the speakers? Taralji?
नो क्वेश्चंस। मुझे तो ये चीज सीखने को मिली, स्मिता जी आपने भी बहुत अच्छा कंडक्ट किया, और हरनाथ जी से भी बात होती रहती है, पूजा जी से भी और रुचा जी से भी। ये तीनों लोग अपने अपने न सिर्फ सब्जेक्ट में, बल्कि ये लोग जो अपने जीवन में अपना कार्य करते हैं ना प्रोफेशनली, उसमें भी बहुत ही ईमानदारी से और इतनी तन्मयता से जुड़ते हैं कि बहुत अमेजिंग चीज है। मतलब किसी भी एक विषय पर या किसी भी एक चीज में लगातार बने रहना, ये मैं इन तीनों से सीखता हूँ। और हरनाथ जी मतलब बहुत सारे प्रश्न भी पूछते हैं, और जिससे कि उनके सीखने की बात बहुत बढ़िया होती है। हालांकि बस उन्हें तकनीकी रूप से मुझे इतना ही कहना है कि अगली बार उनकी आवाज को बहुत सशक्त बनाएं जूम पर, ताकि, और मेरे ख्याल से आप वो जो यूज करते हैं ना माइक्रोफोन, वो ना करें, आप डायरेक्टली बोलेंगे ना तो ज्यादा अच्छे से आवाज आएगी। बस इतना ही निवेदन है। और मजा आ गया तीनों को सुनकर। सबने अपने अपने सब्जेक्ट्स के ऊपर एकदम परफेक्टली तैयारी की थी, और मेरे ख्याल से मुझे जो सीखने को मिलता है वो यही सीखने को मिलता है। हरनाथ जी ने भी बहुत प्रेजेंटेशन बनाया था, और पूजा जी और रुचा जी, ये तीनों ने अपने सब्जेक्ट के साथ मेहनत की है, और उसको तैयार किया है। बस हमें मतलब थियोसॉफी शायद यही सिखाती है कि हमें इंसानियत के लिए हमेशा तैयार रहना है, चाहे शब्दों में, कार्यों में या भावनाओं में। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Taralji. Anybody has any questions for the speakers? Or else we will close the session.
And there's some question in the chat box.
Yeah, I asked a question. So my question was, just think before answering a little bit, like, in what way do we all seek power in our daily lives? Just think about it. I mean, it doesn't need to be answered also. And the other thing is, what is real kindness? And what is the difference between kindness and intelligence? These things need be answered. I'm just putting it out there for you all to just think. Also, like, what is the importance you give to praise? Do you value praise? Or do you feel praise is useless? Or do you feel praise is necessary? At the end of, especially at the end of these types of talks, ask yourself these questions, and there is no need to answer. Think of it, the question itself, as a point for thought. And like I would ask, what Pooja put out, the question which I think Smita picked up, which was, what is it that you are doing today to make the world a better place? So those are questions you can ask yourself, and you will find your own answers. And this kind of introspection is what we call knowledge or self-knowledge, understanding things for our own self. We say kindness, and we have an image of kindness. And that image, was it something we learned? Because when we heard somebody being kind to us, or when we were kind we felt good, or is it some definition from dictionary or somebody else's definition? So think about each of these things, and when you think, I mean, that is what is theosophy. Theosophy is not something you can be taught or learned from others. You have to do your own bit of thinking. So that's it. My question is not a question, it's more of you all to think more.
Thank you, sister. And thank you for your advice. And thank you, everyone. So anybody has anything or anything to add or any questions? Okay, then let's close the session with the prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukhavag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sister Rucha. Thank you, Sister Pooja. And thank you, Brother Harnath, for your nice talks and insightful talks. And we will meet next Sunday, same time. For that, good day and happy Sunday.
Thank you to you
Bye.
too.
To all
Yes.
of
Thank you.